In a recent conversation at the Diary of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett had invited 4 experts on perimenopause, menopause, and women's health and training and nutrition to discuss the topic of perimenopause. And I found so much information in there, really, key to have. And I was just listening and I thought, oh, I wish I had had that when I was younger. Don't wait for things to go wrong. Prevent the outcomes. Prevent the outcomes. And even if you think, I'm healthy, nothing, well, why should, I'm exercising, I'm walking, I'm eating healthy food. If you think your life is set up in a healthy way, still it's possible that perimenopause just catches up. My life was pretty healthy. I've been walking regularly. I've had really long distance walks. I rode my bike. I went to dance. I was not really exercising in that way, but I thought I had a pretty active lifestyle. I ate healthy food. It was rare that I had pizza or that ice cream box or whatever, or sweets. I really thought I was living a healthy life. And yet it hit me. It hit me really bad. So I wish that all the information I know now about perimenopause and the changes it is having on our physiology, on our bodies, including our brain, really highlighting, including our brain, because lots of the mental things we are experiencing, they're brain things. I wish I had known about that when I was much younger. And I wish I had known about that so I could have prevented some of the things which I had to go through, really had to go through. It was such a pain and such a struggle and so peligrous. I really wish that no woman ever again has to go through that. And when I listen around in my circle of friends, most women go through that. And most women feel they're alone because that symptoms which she's experienced, she's not experienced. That symptom which we're all experiencing different things and we kind of think nobody understands me, yet we're all going through this together. It's just the expression of what's happening is different, but the underlying cause, it's the same. It's the same for all of us. It's changes in hormones, it's changes in hormonal levels, it's changes in balances between the hormones. And hormones, they're not just, oh, it's a hormone and it's magic. They're messengers. They're telling the cells in our body what to do or what not to do. And so if these messengers, just think of, it's pre-Christmas season right now, just think of all the logistics companies had different messages sent to their parcel providers. Would you get all Santa Claus presents? I don't think so. There would be a big mess, big mess, if all these messengers were getting too much messages, too few messages, intermixed messages, or just the wrong kind of message. You would not have Santa delivering all the packages. And that's just the same what's happening in our bodies. We have pre-Christmas chaos in our bodies. And that's because there is these crazy changes within our hormonal system, which is affecting everything else. Our glucose levels, our insulin sensitivity, our digestive tract, how we are able to absorb nutrients or not able to absorb nutrients from our food, how energy is processed in our cells or not, how mitochondria is working. Everything is affected by these messages of our hormones. So it's really important to know about that and to know about that early on so that you can prevent some of the issues which are just waiting around the corner ready to jump at you. And it is happening. It is happening for all of us. So it's not just, it's a natural thing. I can go through that on my own. And while I'm doing this a little bit like, I actually thought I could go through perimenopause like that. I thought, well, I've had my periods. They were not painful. There were no struggles with that. I can go through perimenopause. I mean, why shouldn't I? I mean, why should now stuff become difficult? cognitively, I was totally okay with one day going through perimenopause and one day not bleeding anymore. That was totally fine. Totally fine. I was not anxious about it. I had no fear. I had no prejudgment of it. I was really, yeah, sure, let's do it. Until there was no way of let's do it. So, yeah. And I try to make a comparison. I know it's not absolutely correct, but I hope that the message it contains still jumps over, that the spark still jumps over. Because just imagine, many think perimenopause and the menopausal transition is just a natural thing. That's going to happen. That's okay. It's part of living. It's part of a woman's life. And let's just accept it. And that's the way it is. That's one position. Just taking that position and let's put it to pregnancy. Pregnancy, it's just a natural thing. It happens. It's part of women's life, of many women's lives. It's been happening for centuries, millennia. It's just the biology knows. Yeah, it's pregnancy. Let her be pregnant. Let her deliver the baby. That's it. Would you ever have a baby, be pregnant without help? Possibly you haven't even been able to get pregnant without help. Possibly, I mean, would you consciously, unless there's really constraints and limitations and stuff which is limiting you from getting the checkups, getting your doctor consultations, or getting an appointment for delivering the baby? I mean, just imagine, just until a few decades ago, many women delivered their babies at their homes, and how many women died during that process? How many babies died during that process? Or how many babies had severe delivery implications which affected them for the rest of their lives? That was common back in the days. That was really common. Delivering a baby was a very, let's pray that she gets through this healthily, and let's pray that the baby gets through this healthily. It was a life and death party back in the days. It wasn't just, oh, baby, baby, life, hoop, 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 hoop. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Everybody knew when a baby gets born, death is just standing by. So it is a natural thing. Would you now be pregnant, deliver a baby without all the possible care you can get today, which is available, which is tried, proven, and tested? I doubt it. So why would we, why should we, why ought we to accept that perimenopause or menopause is just a natural thing and we women just go through it? No, no. And just as back in the days, many people died during labor or even during pregnancy because they developed diabetes and yeah, so many reasons why they passed away and could not bring the life to life or even continue their lives. Why would we accept that pregnancy is a health hazard and not accept that the hormonal changes which we are going through in perimenopause and postmenopause are not a health threat? So why is one thing polygamous and needs to be monitored and taken care of, and the other one, no, it's just benign. Oh, it's all in her head. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And one could argue, yeah, it's because we're not paying much attention to female health, and generally there's not enough research. Yes, definitely, that is correct. And that's so sad. And that needs to be changed. That ought to be changed. Yet, in women's health, when it comes to her reproduction, her fertility, her libido, how she can be sexy and luscious and have wonderful screaming orgasms so that she's a wonderful wife and lover and whatnot, for that we have treatments and cures and preventive measures and everything and conversation. But on perimenopause, Even hormone therapy, even prescribing hormone therapy is more or less considered that's the solution. Now you have the hormones, now be happy and healthy. That is not the solution. It's part of the solution. There's so much more to consider, and there's so much more interconnected and interplay. Would you ever, for a woman in pregnancy and during labor, tell her, here's 2 pills, and with that, you're fine? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. We would. We don't. So why do we do that for women in perimenopause and menopause? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So in my fantasy, in my imagination, in my dream for the future, I wish that what women as of now are still going through, that they don't have to go through that in the next generation. I have 2 nieces, they're in their teens, and I wish that once they are entering perimenopause and even beyond, they will look back and think, really? This is what women went through in the past? That's crazy. That's insane. That is insane. And I really wish in their generation it is a thing of the past. But it's up to us now to change it. It's up to us now to speak about it. It's up to us now to articulate it, that it's not okay. And I'm a woman, I'm articulating that. And you might think, yeah, every woman has the same perception. It's not the case. It's just the same as with smoking. Many women are much more convinced that perimenopause and menopause is just a natural thing and we should just stick it out. I think many of them are much more hardliner than men ever would be. So it's not a thing men are bad toward women and those bad patriarchal society. Maybe that is part of that. Yes, definitely. It's definitely part of why there's not enough research and solution and funding and normality to the topic as of now. However, it's also us women that we're really, really strict on ourselves for getting the help and the clarity and the transparency on the topic which it's deserving. So I'm not blaming the men. I'm not blaming the women who do think it is a natural thing, because it is a natural thing. They're totally right with that. Yet a natural thing doesn't mean it's free of harm, it's free of danger, it's free of potential to really threaten our lives. So I wish that the normalcy for pregnancy, like the prevention, the checkups, the conversation, the treatments, the attention, the care, the wonder and awe which we're experiencing with regards to pregnancy and creating a new life, that will also be born, birthed, created, established with just the same normalcy for women in perimenopause and beyond. I mean, we're not giving life, we're not giving new life, but the healthier we are, the healthier we transition into older age, the more we can also give to others. And I've seen it. I've seen my mom pass away really young. I mean, not really young, she was in her early 60s, but that's just too early. That's just too early. And it was so easy to would have prevented that. Another mom, maybe it's just coincidence, but many moms of my female friends have passed away pretty early. Pretty early. And is it just a coincidence? It could be that. It could also be that all those various causes for her death were actually triggered because our system was no longer healthily. Possible, possible, possible. Who knows? Yet, perimenopause and menopause is natural. It is changing our health. It is changing our system. And I wish that it will have the normalcy, ease, and clarity as many, many, many other issues with regards to health are having. So they deserve the same respect. If you feel the same, please share in the comments. Please share with your friends and your loved ones. If you have a different point of view, if you have something to add, to share another fun fact or insight, please share that as well. I'm looking forward to read that, and I'm looking forward to see you next time.